volatility is still there. The anxiety is still there. But the fact of the matter is they're weighing these concerns about this investigation, where the Mueller investigation is going. The man who had been urging the president not to testify with Bob Mueller resigning today, the president's top personal lawyer. And then you have the trade tariffs the president slapped on the Chinese, indications the Chinese are set to respond maybe by the end of the day. And, of course, that spending measure that just passed the House, $1.3 trillion spending measure that will keep us going for another 6 months before they have to do all this over again. So they're weighing all that together. This lady knows how to weigh it all together very, very nicely. The Wall Street Journal editorial board member, Kim Strassel. The markets right now really are betwixt and between on a lot of this stuff, aren't they? Again, I mean, I do notice whatever your views of the president, the worse things look for him, or potentially, especially if it's an investigation that might not look good, the worse things look for the markets. Then they think about it, calm down, the better. What's your sense?
Yeah, I mean, people want to feel as though they've got a White House that is free from the kind of overhang that is going on right now. And so the more you hear about Mueller, the more you hear comments from former Obama officials like John Brennan suggesting the Russians have something on him, the more all of the news media is on this, the tougher it is for the markets to believe that there's going to be any headroom in Washington to just get things done that are priorities, like for the economy, because everyone is so wrapped up in all of these theories and conspiracies.
Let's take each one real quickly, if we can, on the Mueller stuff and whether this somehow telegraphs more ominous things than the president was earlier thought. I didn't read it that way. I think he went out on the limb over the weekend when he more or less said that it should all shut down and it was already clear that he didn't want the president to testify. Or am I missing something there?
No, the worst thing that Donald Trump could do, and hopefully he has many advisors around him telling this, is to fire Bob Mueller. And I don't see any indication that he is going to do so. He probably should knock off the tweets when it comes to this stuff. Just let him get through his investigation.
I'm sorry, Kim. It's those very tweets, though, that make me think, hey, maybe he is considering it.
Well, I know, and you never know. This is a president who you can't guess what he's going to do one day or the next. But look, that would just cause a huge meltdown in Washington.
True.
He's going along. What he needs, you just mentioned that the president's lawyer resigned. Probably the best thing Donald Trump could do at the moment is to try to get a lawyer who is very specifically versed in some of these questions about, for instance, obstruction or collusion, who would know how to treat with the special counsel, as it were, where to draw the circles and the gates around the president in terms of how he would testify, if he would testify, and to maybe, push back against the special counsel a little on the question of some of these potential charges if they were to come. So he could get something out of that. That's where his focus ought to be, rather than just complaining about the process itself.
Kim, a little earlier, the president had, again, slapped these tariffs on Chinese steel, aluminum-related goods. The Chinese are going to respond, but he has said, for as long as I've known him, that the Chinese need us a heck of a lot more than we need them. So he's almost tempting them to do something. Do you think they will?
They probably will. Look, this is what happens when you decide to go into a trade dispute with someone. And what's really interesting to me about this, Neil, is that initially I'm told by people in the White House that it was only ever supposed to be China that they were leveling their attention on, in part because of frustration over legitimate trade abuses like intellectual property theft. Then the president got, with Wilbur Ross, the Commerce Secretary, got all wound up and said he was applying steel tariffs across the board, across the entire world. They've ratcheted that back some. They seem now to finally be getting back on track to China. But yeah, China likely will retaliate in some way. The question is, how far does the country push it? Because they themselves are still a growing economy, and they need all this world trade.
All right. Very good stuff, Kim. Thank you very much. The Wall Street Journal editorial board member, Fox News contributor, Kim Strassel.